Hello, I'm Dong Chanli. In this short video, I'm going to introduce the MMU to reduce your math poverty of your Ministry of Education radically in whichever of the Caribbean country that participates in CXC. If you look at the CSEC method data of in this case, over the past 2 decades or so, basically in 2 decades, the math improvement, the passing rate is not even 10% increase. Instead of this horizontal line of the next 3, 4, 5, 6 years time frame also, in this kind of sudden changes, is it possible? That's basically what I'm trying to say. If you look at the CXC data, regional data of the CSEC, general math has been the worst consistently decade after decade. So the subject rate, the average, most of them, the average like 80-90% pass rate, more or less. Yeah, English 50-70% or 60% average or something like that. Math is usually about 30-40% worse than the English. Basically like 30-40% more or less. If you're lucky, 50%. So this has been going on 10, 20, 30 plus years, and it's simply not changing. The Ministry of Education, with all the due respect, all the data indicates simply is not reasonable. So in this case, my notation here is my size of growth, basically, so that you can understand it visually. Yeah. So instead of spending so much time in the short period of time, 10, 20 times faster, get over with it in just 3, 5, 6 years instead of 30, 50, 60 years or whatever. Yeah. But this is horizontal growth of the mathematics is a global phenomenon, not just in Caribbean island. United States, for instance, United States and Puerto Rico NAP data over the past 1 decade, 20, 30, something is almost horizontal, at least 10 years of horizontal. 4th grade, 8th grade. PISA mathematics up to here is a 15 years time frame. Richer country, OECD country, Latin American country, as you can see, basically most of them are horizontal over at least 10 years. So instead of this horizontal, what if I can get their difference between about at least one standard deviation changes of yellow arrows in over the next 3, 5, 6 years or something like that? Is it possible? Absolutely. So if the math poverty range of the PISA, for instance, 2015, OECD countries about 20-30% of the countries are math poverty typically, and the Latin American country 50-90%. And it has been that way. How about UNESCO? Yes, same thing, horizontal, and my target is this one. So what is the motivation of this? I ran the 2 pilot study earlier. Base ground for the original USL was normally what takes for the whichever the grade between the Guatemala and Mexico, more than 10 schools participated, high school, middle school, primary school. Normally 30, 40, there are 5 days material necessary math. I took it to all the students in pilot study in the 1 day of 30, 45 minutes instead of that. So basically, at least 10 to 50 times faster than normally possible. Nobody could believe it. I had a problem to convince the Ministry of Education that they simply ignored me. So basically what I did was run the mini USL MMU1, which is about 10, 20 times a slower version. So I took the best half of each class, stay with their math teacher. I took the worst math half student. 1, 2 weeks later, Roger liked it. As you can see, the arrow, this is the basic difference. Basically, percentile average about 25th percentile to 75th percentile. How long? 1 to 2 weeks. Still, this is a slow version, as I told you. Normally, this kind of thing is most of the government will need at least half a century, 1 century or more. And how about Guyana example over the past 30 years? This is English growth, and this is math growth. Math growth about 30 years, about 20%. This is not bad. It's better than average, I believe. But still, what if I can change it over the next 3, 5 years or so? This kind of instead of that, yeah. And how about let's look at the math poverty globally? At least the PISA data. This is the Latin American country, yeah. And this is the Dominican Republic. 90% of math poverty. Top math countries in Latin America is about 50% of math poverty. OECD country about 20-30%. So basically, over the next 3, 4, 5, 6 years time frame, more or less, if you depending on the level of commitment, I can reduce the yellow arrow basically, that kind of thing. So this is my contact information, and I'm going to continue with the next video, basically, and that is what I'm showing, and at least visually you can understand what I'm trying to get at. And the math poverty, if you talk about 25th to the 75th percentile, this Northeastern Asian countries and the OECD average, Latin America in general is this.